I think Imran would have received a call on his cell phone.
You received a call from his cell phone.
On his cell phone.
That was at what stage? When he was in custody?
Just as I entered,
Yeah.
he was on his
When
phone.
you arrived, he was already placed in custody.
Yes, sir, but he had his phone, but I think I took it thereafter.
He had his phone.
Yes, sir.
And you say he might have made or received a call.
I think he received a call, sir.
Would you be able to say from who made it, who you received the call from?
No, sir.
You won't be able.
No, sir.
Did you hear part or the whole of the conversation that he had?
I can't recall. I can't recall it.
You can't recall the conversation.
No, sir.
Well, he's in custody.
Yes, sir.
He's allowed to keep his phone. He either receives or makes a call.
Yes, sir.
And you being the most senior person there, you don't know the nature of the conversation.
What happened, sir, as I got there, I realized while I was being briefed by the ranks, he was some distance away.
Mm.
And I realized he had his phone, so I went to him and took the phone. As I got to him, he caught the conversation. So that's why I can't tell you what that conversation was.
Fair enough. Fair enough. And that is all that you have to tell this inquiry, this commission.
To the best of my knowledge, yes, sir.
I don't think I want to ask you anything further. Just again to say that so far, I think this is the third day of taking evidence and so on. I think you have been the clearest to me, the clearest so far,
Thank you, sir.
right? Because I think you have caused me to understand, to get a better understanding of what transpired. As I indicated earlier, some people came and there was a lot of dancing. Nobody didn't know, there was a thing, but you came, apparently you were there, and your story can be, as far as I'm concerned, I can easily follow the story and the sequence of events.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. In respect to your excuse.
Thank you, sir.
Call Mr. Blanhum, please. Right, but before you, Mr. Blanham, I know you're in pursuit of this someone you received to come and give evidence before this inquiry this afternoon.
Yes, sir.
All right, you swear by which book?
The Bible.
Please. The evidence you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help me God.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, please, to the record, state your name, rank, position.
Name Wendell Blanhum. Senior Superintendent of Police.
Let me just interrupt briefly, as I have to do with the other witnesses, just to say a couple of things, sorry. The proceedings is being recorded. I know you're accustomed to giving evidence where you allow the magistrate or the judge to record. So,
Okay, thank you, sir.
for the purpose of this, you're permitted to flow.
Okay.
The next thing I should caution about, I know you're the crime chief. Questions may be asked, and in your judgment, you may feel that the answer to those questions might compromise national security. I'm saying to you now, whatever you get to that stage, please indicate so that perhaps the answers can be given in a more private setting.
Well done. Well done, sir.
Go ahead.
I'm stationed at the Criminal Investigation Department in the capacity of Assistant Commissioner, Law Enforcement. On the 29th of March, the year 2017, while I was on duty at the Criminal Investigation Department headquarters in my office, I received a telephone call from a young lady who identified herself as an employee of the Ministry of Public Security. She then told me a story that there's a young man there who reported that he was offered $7 million to kill President Granger. Immediately, I asked her to have the young man remain there while I ensured that someone go to that location to escort him to CID headquarters. She agreed, and I subsequently contacted Commander A Division, that is Miss Assistant Commissioner Clifton Hickins, and I explained to him the story that was told to me by the young lady. And Commander, I also requested that he send, based on the serious nature of that allegation, I requested that he send none other than the Divisional Detective Officer in charge of Crime A Division, that is Superintendent Michael Kingston. Subsequently, Kingston came to my office in company of a young man who identified himself as Andrew Gillard. I then offered Gillard and Kingston a seat in my office, and I further summoned the head of the Major Crimes Investigation Department, that is Assistant Superintendent of Police, Mr. Mitchell Caesar. On arrival at my office, I introduced Caesar to Gillard, and then Gillard proceeded to tell us his story. After telling us of the allegation made against the businessman, I instructed the head of the Major Crimes Unit to commence investigation into the matter. Then Gillard, Mr. Kingston, and Caesar then left my office. Thereafter, I reported the allegation to Mr. David Ramnarine, the Assistant Commissioner of Police, who was acting as the Commissioner of Police. Mr. Ramnarine told me that he's going to inform his superior and to give him an update on the matter. About 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I contacted the head of the Major Crimes Investigation Unit for an update so I can do my afternoon brief, which is done on a daily basis to the Commissioner of Police. At that stage, Caesar indicated to me that they have finished taking the statement from Gillard, which consists of 17 pages, and they're in the process of going and arrest the businessman who this allegation was made against. Afterwards, the following morning, I reported what was told to me by Mr. Caesar to Mr. Ramnarine, and the following morning, during my morning briefs, that's about 8:30, Mr. Caesar indicated to me that he received information that Nizam Khan was placed on station bail. Further, he reported that they made significant progress with regards to the investigation, and that they would have obtained statements from Gillard. They went to Diamond. Gillard identified the businessman, Nizam Khan. He was arrested, and they conducted a search at his premises, but nothing of evidential value was found. He also related that they were able to obtain a statement from one Stephen Passad also. I was satisfied with his explanation, and thereafter I would have contacted the police legal advisor from time to time as the investigation progressed gradually. Sometime during the course of the investigation, in fact, several times, the investigators reported to me the conduct of Andrew Gillard, in that he was shifting after he was told that he has to submit himself to do a confrontation with one Leon Basdio, and Lloyd Adams, it was brought to my attention that Gillard was shifting the allegation itself and focusing on personal conflicts with the investigators. I have even had cause to write in my minute dated the 11th day of June 2017 about Gillard's behavior and what was reported to me. Having done so, the investigation was sent to the police legal advisor on several occasions. That was stated in my minute also to her, and that Gillard was frustrating the process of the investigation. The police legal advisor, we would have discussed also about the evidence that we have and the statements that were taken, and she gave an advice which was dated 11th of June 2017, that the evidence that the Guyana Police Force is in possession of at that point of time is tenuous, and that at that stage there is nothing to charge anyone with. I later received a file based on her instructions, and the last advice that she gave was for the Guyana Police Force to continue with further investigation into the matter.
That's it?
Yes, sir.
All right. Let's start from the beginning. You said you forced note of this matter when you received a call